seeing what side is coming up more than the other. Okay. If it's sitting greater than a ½ inch away, we know something is wrong, but we can't say if the muscle is short or just stiff, right? Okay. So then we're going to come along and take your hand. You're going to try to run in the direction of the fibers of the pec minor. Okay. So you're just going to put your hand through there. You want to be soft here, so you want the shoulder or the ball of the shoulder to fit in your hand, and you're just going to push down in that diagonal pattern to see if it goes down to the table. Okay? Sometimes you might stabilize the other side as you press down. Okay? It's meant to be real gentle and easy, and you can see hers go down. I don't have to work at all. Okay? But again, they're relatively stiffer because she's sitting greater than a ½ inch away from the table. But they're not short, right? Because I can push it down. I'm feeling how much force it takes for me to push it down, and it doesn't take much. Okay? So that's pec minor. Looking at the relative position, coming in the direction of the fibers, giving kind of that downward pressure, and seeing what happens. Okay? We're going to look at lat length. When you're doing lat length, you're going to want to take your hand that's most close to her head and grab her wrist, okay? Then your other hand's going to come and grab the humerus so you can maintain that external rotation. And it's just nice and easy here, keeping external rotation. Elbow should come up to the ceiling, and just seeing what kind of length she has through there, okay? So she moves very well. She gets all 180 degrees. I don't have to work at all regarding her lats, okay? She's in hook line because we shouldn't see any lumbar extension here as well. Okay? So lat length, top hand grabbing the wrist to kind of support, bottom hand keeping the external rotation because the lats can immediately rotate. Okay? That's going to set our standard as we look at our scapulohumeral muscles. Okay? So this one, you're going to take your top hand, you're going to drop it down to the elbow so you can control rotation. You're going to take your other hand and you're going to block the scapula, okay? So we know when arm goes overhead, your scapula should come about to mid-thorax, okay? That's going to be, relatively speaking, about a ½ inch away from the body. And so what you want to think about is you're going to take your hand, you're going to put it around the borders of the scapula. So the most anterior border is going to sit up into your thumb, okay? And that's going to allow that ½ inch, but now you're going to block it. And you're going to come and see how far back she goes. She should get the same length here as she did on her lats. And you can see she holds up here a little bit compared to her lat length. Okay? So when I block her here and come back, it holds up a little bit. I'm going to immediately rotate and see what happens. She really doesn't gain much. So all I can say here is that her scapulohumeral muscles are stiff. Okay? I can't implicate which one. If I was here and immediately rotated and it dropped down, then I know my medial rotator that goes from my shoulder blade to my arm is the teres major, right? Okay? Then I could implicate that one. Okay? So again, your lat length sets your standard. Okay? If you have a shoulder patient, you know, sometimes you have to adapt here. Okay? But you're looking at full 180 degrees as they're laying through there. She should get to the same spot when I block her scapula. She hangs up a little bit. I'm going to internally rotate to see if the teres major is involved. She doesn't gain, so I can't implicate the teres major. I would just have to put it in that category of all of our scapulohumeral muscles. Okay? Does that make sense? Then we're going to come to the pec major. We're going to think about the sternal fibers. So I'm going to take my hand, I have control of her arm at the wrist. I'm going to keep it externally rotated so the thumb should come down to the table. Okay? I'm just going to see how far it goes. Sometimes it's good to just kind of monitor at the glenohumeral joint that there's no anterior glide there or any other shoulder issues, but I'm just seeing how easily it comes to the table. That's going to be roughly about 130 degrees. Just think about the way the fibers run. We're going to do the clavicular fibers as well. Coming out here, again, just about 90 degrees, seeing how it moves, how easy it goes down. Okay? So we got pec minor, we got lat length, okay? Then we're going to come back, block the shoulder blade, should get the same distance. If not, we'll internally rotate and see what happens. Then we're going to come, we're going to do sternal fibers, clavicular fibers, okay? Then we're going to come back, we're going to look at the posterior capsule, so we're going to come back to our position here at the elbow. We're going to block the shoulder blade, we're going to come across the body. Our landmark here is the elbow should get in line with the nose, okay? Looking at the posterior capsule. If I want to do the posterior deltoid can externally rotate the humerus, so I want to internally rotate to check its length. I should get to that same landmark over the nose, okay? Elbow over the nose, okay? Sound good? All right.
Here's a